All right, let's we've already created the database and we name it school. And what we wanted, this is our topic of today: working with nulls, pattern matching, regular expression, and row counts. Okay, so let me display the table we want to create here. So it's already displayed on the board. I have 6 different columns, and the first one is SN, the second one is reg, that is reg norm. Then we have name, and then we have CA, and the next is exam, and then we have total. This is the table we want to create. Okay, so in here now what we wanted doing is to create this table such a way that whenever you add a record, serial number will be incrementing, and then the registration number should be created by the system, not you really. And then the name, and then the what? A name should be inserted, CA and exam should be inserted by you, and then total should be done automatically. But then you can insert either CA or exam, so later on you update either CA or exam. Are we understanding?
Yes.
So now I've already created a database here, and I want to create a table. So for us to create a table, we write from Notepad, so we can return what we have written. Okay, so you now create table. This is the command: create table name. Create table is the result word, then table name. Now how you want to use it, you can just say data entry. Okay, then you supply all that you want. The first thing is serial number. That serial number has an int type. All right, and then it is a primary key and auto increment. This is how you write: auto increment primary key. Now you're done with one. Then the second one is what? Reg norm.
Primary key.
Thank you, primary key. The next is reg norm. Reg norm. So reg norm, that is registration number, and let it be varchar or varchar or anything you call it, and then give it specified number of characters. We've chosen 64. Please always give characters that you cannot even exhaust, but it should not be too long. It should not be too long, so you don't waste your memory. Then next is what? Name. Okay, let me copy this varchar because I'll be using it. Name, varchar as well, right? Next is what? CA. CA should be double, please, not int, so it can accept all kind of marks with decimal places and all that. Okay, exam as well, double. And then next is what? Total, double as well. So we're done with the table creation command. So you copy it from here and go back to your MySQL workbench, MySQl client, and paste. So then you press enter. It is there. So now you can show tables here. You see one single table called what? Data entry. Are we there? So then we can describe it. Describing means checking the structure of the table. Describe data entry. Are we there? Now we can make insertions. Let me make one single insertion, then we review what we're doing, and then we continue. How do we insert? Let's look at the table first. So you now write this command: insert into table name. What is the table name? Data entry, then values, open and close braces in bracket, Then you begin the insertion. The first thing is auto increment, which is serial number. You don't need to insert anything since it is incrementing automatically. So you give it null. Okay? Then the next is what? Regnum. So for regnum, you create regnum by using this string. We said ccl slash java se, for example, and slash. Then you go by 001. It is an archaic method. You don't write this yourself, please. I just made it. I just want to make it as an example. I will truncate the table and recreate it. Okay? I just want to, because you're supposed to, system should be giving you this really. Okay? Name. So you do Paul. Well, let me just say Paul. One name, so we don't write much. CA. This you don't write in quote, please. Int is never written in quote. And then maybe he's got 40 here. So for exam, you want to sum the two. So please call the name of the column. You're welcome. Call the name of the column, which is what? What is the column name you want to add up? CA plus exam. Thank you. So you write CA plus exam, and you're done. So you copy and paste into the client, and then you press enter. It has entered. So you check, please. Select from data entry. Can you see what you have written? Huh? Is it? You see here, we're able to supply what? We're able to supply the data into it, and then we're able to make the total and that. Are we there? But then I wouldn't want us to be entering this regnum. If you are designing from front end, you should create this regnum by calling the string. And then this 001 should be incremented from where? From here. So there is a need for us to be getting 001 from here, not 1. Okay? So we're going to do two different things here. After the insertion, then you make update. So you get that one. Please, let me truncate the table. Let me even drop the table completely so we create it again with those features. So I want to drop the table. Dropping table means deleting it from the database. So drop table. Or instead of dropping it, let me create another table. Maybe data entry 2, right? Data entry 2, it will be better, right? And then we specify, now we want to be getting this incremented. I mean 0001, 001, maybe 2 characters, 3 characters, or anything. I mean 2 digits, 3 digits, or anything you want. So please, you specify here 0 field, please. And then at this int, then you specify how many characters how many digits you need. Are we getting it? Huh? It's like you didn't understand. You did not, right? What do we have here? 1, 2, 3. But we want to be concatenating this and this. So if you concatenate SN, if you remove this 001 and concatenate SN and regnum, what will happen? You only have /1, right? So we want to be getting 001. So this is what we do. Because if you say 001, how many digits do you have? 3. So you specify the digit there, then you say 0 field. That's the language. So I'm not dropping anymore. So I'll right click and paste, and then I will do this, right? So this is now, it has entered, it has created a table, another table called data entry 2. Okay? So I want to make data entry into data entry 2. So I'll now represent this as data entry 2. Are we understanding? And then I will not want to use this, only slash. Okay? Are we understanding? So now if I should do this, then if I make entry, I will have to update this very one, because I want to be seeing ccl/java se/ 001, and now I'm only storing it as this. Okay, so let's make one entry and then update it. So when we are done with it, then we make many entries of data. Let me make one entry, insert into this. So I'm selecting from what? Data entry 2. Please, can you see this is not our aim? Okay, but then we've gotten 001. Are we understanding? So let's update table name, data entry 2. Okay, then you set, this is how update command works. Set the column name is regnum equals to then the expression you want to make. So I want to introduce something called concat. Concat means concatenation. We know concatenation. Okay, concat into bracket, you supply the first parameter you want to concatenate upon or on, which is what? Regnum itself. Are we there? Comma, what are you concatenating with? Serial number, which is SN. Thank you. Then you close bracket. Do we understand this? So I'll press enter. It has done the changes. Then you check your table again. Please look at it. 001 being appended, right? So now that means these two commands should be done, at the same time. Okay, whenever you make entry, then you update. But then if you are doing it from your front end, so you'll be saying where, then you specify a particular property of the current insertion you made. Otherwise you'll be updating upon and upon. Do we understand? So let's make many entries here. Maybe you'll be giving me names and I'll be writing here.
So you didn't copy your check it.
I did not. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you. Okay, I think this is enough. Data entry, this is null, this we said Paul. Let me see Abba here. Let me give you 28, 32. Do you have Kamal here? Kamal. Then we have maybe Mustafa. Maybe Abbas. Jamil. Maybe you have James. Aslam. Okay, let's go by this. So what does this last command do? It does what? Update. Okay. So before we go, let me truncate this table. Truncate data entry 2. Okay. So let me copy this and insert. Okay, so let's check. Select asterisk from data entry.
So that's
Okay, so please check upon here. You see it increments and then it gets it from here. So whenever you make entry, it gets from SN and then it will create the regnum, right? So you see, you're not the one doing this. You only, position some. You only put some strings there, and then it gets concatenated. And do you understand? So now let's check the topic of today. Now, here we say working with nulls. Okay, that means we can make entry that has null, right? Are we getting it? So I'll check here. Let me pick one of these, only one, and write it here. For the exam, let me say it's null. Do we understand? So I'll copy this with the update, and the name is Aslam, right? All right, click and I'll paste. So let's check. Okay, please check here. What is here? No, right? So at the moment, it gives me null, and because of it being null, the total is also what? Null. So that means if you are to update this exam, you have to recalculate. Is it? You have to recalculate. So at the moment, this exam, no, that says null, the information or the data for the column null, for the null column here is missing. Are we understanding? At the moment, the data is missing. So if you want to provide it, then you have to update it and recalculate this total. Can we provide it? Can we do it? All right, let's do it together. Update. Okay, I'm sorry. It was because I repeated on it. That's why I told you the other time. So I shouldn't have done this. Okay, let's correct it. Let me correct it right now. 40. This is how it was, right? So let me truncate. I think I have the command. I'm just searching. Okay, if it is not there, let me quickly write and truncate it. Truncating means removing all the instances of a database. So 9 records are gone, right? So now let me do this. So now I update. Okay, let me see. Can I see select? Select asterisk from data entry 2. Thank you. Good. This is what we have, right? So we wanted to carry out this. If it is from your front end, you can create something that will help you, because somebody is doing the entry at the moment. So you use some properties of the entry and update there and then. But then, since we know that our record stopped at 8, so we can just update 9. Okay, so then I'll create this. I said null here, right? Null. The reason why it accepts null is that it has been set to accept it, otherwise it will not. Do you understand? By default, all columns can accept null except primary key. So here, then I will now say update data entry set range this. Then I have to introduce what? Where SN equals to what? 9. So it will update only this column, please. Are we understanding? Instead of repeating it over and over. So let's check. Check, please. Can you see? Do we understand? Okay. So if you want to update this very one, this null, we'll have to recalculate. So how do we do that? Who can do this? I want to update it with a value and then recalculate. So I can now say update data entry set regional. I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm not doing this at all. So let's write another update. Update data entry 2. What are we setting? Set exam, right? So okay, yeah, set exam, which is the column name, equals to something. Maybe exam equals to 45, or let me say 40, for example, comma. Okay, 40. What again? Then we need to update total. Okay, so you can introduce comma and now say total. So we are updating how many columns? 2 columns, right? Total equals to what? CA plus. Thank you. But then even if I leave it the way it is, there will be nothing, because total is equals to exam plus CA. Okay, but then my purpose, the purported record is what? Line 9, right? So where record is what? 9. So let me copy this and paste, and then I'll paste this. Okay, it made only one change. So if you select, you see it has updated the record. Is it 30 plus 40? 70, right? So this is the way you walk around all these please, let's go to pattern matching. I think we have dealt with this. Pattern matching. Now you want to check on some characters. We want to check on characters that begin with what? That begin with letter, a particular letter. Let's search for names that begin with particular characters. So we have to introduce where clause, where name, like. So here we are searching for some names that begin with particular character. Let's pick J, for example. Names that begin with letter J, please. So you introduce this string, and then you now say it begins with what? With J, sorry. J, right? Then you press. Is it? Yeah. But I introduce, I don't know whether it's using binary automatically. Where name like. Okay, J comes. Alright, thank you. That means this ends with J, right? Thank you. Okay, the one letter begins with J. Are we there? So you can walk around this. Letter begins with J, letter ends with J. Okay, you can also check on maybe you want to see if there is any name that has L or that has I, in which that contains letter I, something like this. Is it the only name that contains letter I? Yes. Let's see name that contains letter M. Yes, thank you. Letter M. You see, these are the only names that contain letter M. So then we then introduce a more optimized one. This, if you want to check on number of characters. Okay, names that has maybe three characters. Do we have? We don't. But we could have the one with 4 characters. Then you represent the characters with underscore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and press enter. These are names that has 5 characters. If you check, it's correct. I remove 1, 4 characters. Okay, regardless of the content of the characters. So please now back to this regular expression, RegEx. Before then, I did not use not like. Sorry, we say like M. So now if you want to search for names that are not having M in them, you now say not here. Please search here. Is there name? Is there M? There is no. If you want to search on names that are not having not M, at all, there is no M. You may say, okay, I want to search for things that are not starting with P. Okay, those that are not starting with P. Is that P here? So you can use like and not like. And then regex. This, instead of saying it begins with like, here you now use that expression, that is regular expression. So this means names or strings starting with letter B. String starting with letter B. Okay, so you use this carat. But then let's search for our own. Let's say string starting with letter P. Here, instead of like or something, here you now say regex. Regular expression. Okay, regular expression what? Carat. It's on letter. It's on key. The keyboard 6. The one that begins with what? P. Okay. So then this P, you can also search the one that ends with something. You can say the one that ends with S. Okay. So ending means what? You now say S, and then you introduce what? Dollar sign. The one that ends with what? S, and that's the only one that ends with S. Let's see the one that ends with L, right? The one that ends with L. Okay. So you can also search for the one that, for regular expression, the one that contains only W. It is the same we use percentage sign, a letter, and percentage sign. But in this case, if you use regular expression, you only introduce the letter here, the one that contains A in it. Virtually all the names contain A. But let's say the one that contains B in it, only two, Abbas and Abba. So, but then you want to search for character here, the character that contains the character, number of characters here. Number of characters, only 5 characters. Let's search for only 3 characters here. So you start with your regular expression and then your carat like this. So you represent those 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you end it, because if you stop at 3 without ending, that means you're searching for the name that has at least 3. Okay, at least. But this one exactly what? 3. You see, these are the 2 names that has at least 3. So let's add 1 to become 4. That has exactly 4. Are we there? Exactly 4. Let's say exactly 5. Do we have Paul and Abba? They have exactly 5. No, this is empty. There's nothing like that. Yeah. You say? Okay, I introduced. No. I had wanted to add another dot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4, right? Let's say 5. So then another way of writing it, 1, 2, 3, 4, is still 4. 5 characters. So another way of writing it is you remove this. Just introduce the dot and introduce a curly bracket and introduce your what? Number of characters you want. Do we have 2 here? No. What about 6? We don't. What about 3? We don't. What about 4? We have 4. Okay, 4, 5, and above, I think. So now row counting. You see, in this situation, we are displaying the rows. Okay, we supply the rows. That is the content of the table, the columns. But in this case, we wanted to search for only the the number of occurrence of a particular row or of a particular something, a particular string. Let's say we want to, so you see, if you look at it, we have Aslam how many times? 2 times. So let's count now. If you want to count the occurrence of a particular string or entity, then you have to group. Okay, you have to do group by. So you now say where, okay, group by now, not where. Group by. Group by what? Name, thank you. Group by the column name here. So if you press enter, you see it has done the group by. Alright. For this name Aslam, it will display it only one time. For you to understand this, if you do count, if you say count and asterisk, and then before this you introduce asterisk. Do we understand what I've done? This gives you from here to this point, it gives you what? The complete table. But then this computes the what? Number of occurrence for a particular what? Row. So you see Aslam appeared how many times? 2 times. If you add another entry into the table, for example, let's add this Aslam again. Or let me add this James. Let me add this James again into the table. And then we query it again and see. Alright, even though I did not update here, but that's not the key thing. We are after the count. Select from. So please, do we have, yes, please check on James, the count for James. James 2, Aslam 2. So it is counting the occurrence of something. And I think that's in most cases, if you want to do this count, you have to do, unless if you are counting all, but if you want to do it, if you are doing count for particular rows, so you have to do aggregation. You aggregate, you separate them into, you group them, you group by. So I think we'll stop here and